fourth event of the year. We're back in New York. There's over 950 attendees here. This whole weekend is about building things and actually making ideas come to life. The companies that have come out of ETHGlobal since our beginning have raised collectively over $500 million. And that's just the ones we can count.
Excited to begin hacking in like, I don't know, 2-ish hours.
Everyone's so welcoming. They're like, hey, how are you? How are you? And I'm like, I know nothing.
Everyone's trying to learn from each other.
On day 2, everyone is like heads down on their laptops, building, hacking, so they can win their prizes on Sunday.
See, like when you walk into the door and you see like, hundreds of people kind of all very like focused on their screens and everything.
Everyone is really pushing boundaries, high energy.
My favorite crypto community. 2 days, heads down, building something, and you're going to learn more than you would in 2 months on your own.
I don't know if it's because it's New York, but we have a lot of project ideas around combining finance and crypto.
New York is the capital of crypto. I remember my first time being a hacker. It's fun, but also very stressful.
You're like super tired, you're barely like kind of functioning, but somehow there's still that like adrenaline that keeps you going.
Everyone has a different reason for being here. You're almost like on the breaking point. That adrenaline of like, even if you don't win, you're winning at pushing yourself and building and doing something with something you've never even tried before.
The projects in New York have been actually really cool. We're seeing a lot of really cool projects that are consumer oriented.
A lot of people are integrating AI agents to simplify experiences. It's going to be a really tough competition out there, and I'm excited to see who wins.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Kartik, one of the co-founders of ETHGlobal, and I want to welcome all of you to the closing ceremony for ETHGlobal New York. Love this. Well, I'm going to ask you to conserve a lot of your energy because we're going to clap a lot for the next 30 minutes. You are at an ETHGlobal event. Our mission is to onboard thousands of developers to the Web3 ecosystem, and this weekend was a hackathon and our 4th time in New York. 950 people were in the building. 690 of them were hackers from 210 different cities, 51 countries, 6 different continents, and 37% of them were brand new to Web3. That means they were existing Web2 developers trying to see what's possible in Web3 for the first time. People came from all across the globe. You can see exactly every city where everybody came from, but not only just the hackers. We had 192 partners who were here all weekend to help you build the things that you're excited about, 21 dedicated mentors, 22 workshops, and 0 talks, because this is not a conference. Not only that, we also tried to do things on-chain with these wristbands, and people ate a lot of food. And they met each other a lot, and 400 workshops were attended. Oh, okay. I was like, I don't like myself on screen. Let's go back to the slides, please. And we're giving $275,000 in prizes. And we're going to talk about who won what. And everything that you get to see that came out of this weekend will be shown to you as a live demo. I want to thank 27 of our incredible partners. So for the first ask for a lot of clapping, let's give a massive round of applause to each of these companies, starting with Coinbase Developer Platform, Flow, Layer Zero, Artificial Superintelligence Alliance, Chainlink, Chili, Circle, Dynamic, ENS, Flare, Hedera, Hyperlane, Katana, Ledger, Nora, OpenSea, PayPal USD, The Graph, Uniswap Foundation, Walrus, Zirkit, Fern, Gemini, Hardhat, Lit, Privy, and Saga. All of them are giving away a lot of prizes. We're going to tell you who won what. We have all those numbers. And we also have something new we're going to announce at the end of this event today. So hopefully you stay up for the next hour. Okay. Now this is a hackathon. And the goal for this entire weekend was to focus on building things that we're excited about and showing everybody what we built instead of just talking about these ideas. And all of you did just that. We had 690 hackers, and we thought it'd be nice to kind of tell you a little bit about who they are. The most common places where people came from was New York, as it should be. And then we had San Francisco and Toronto as the second 2 biggest cities. People also coded the most in TypeScript, Python, and Solidity this weekend. And I ran these numbers, and these 3 people have been to those many events at ETHGlobal over the last 6 years. So Yusong has been to 41, Gabriel, 35, and Karan, 34. Now, the cool part about all this was, I was like, did we actually do these many? Well, yes. But when we kind of started doing async events, people started participating from all over the world, and we did anywhere from 10 to 20 a year. So just in 3 years, people kind of stacked up on so many of these things. And the most interesting part is that for Yusong and Karan, the ratio of async to in-person is like 3 versus, well, that number minus 3. Everything was online, and this is like just an amazing way to see and show that you can actually meet the community that you've been working with online in person and use these weekends to get to know people you've been working with. So not only these 690 hackers basically hung out with each other, they also submitted 275 projects. I mean, this is awesome. Such an amazingly round number. It almost feels fake. And we thought we'd do some more things about this too. So we looked at some stats on the 275 submissions, and DeFi and payments are the 2 biggest categories of what you're going to see from this whole event, AI being the 3rd one. Flow, CDP, and Dynamic were the most used integrations from all the projects. And the most amount of deployments happened on Ethereum mainnet, Base, and Flow. So I personally am surprised that mainnet is the top of the list, but that means we're actually starting to use mainnet for things. And this is an amazing trend. So give yourselves a massive round of applause, 275 projects. And this is, the thing I want to do is also thank our judges who took actually 5 hours this morning to talk to everybody. So massive shout out to Alex, Anto, Brantley, Debbie, Gabriel, Jason, Mikhail, Megan, Matt, Kaido, Josh, John, Nicholas, Shafu, Shane, Siobhan, and Victor. Ooh. Okay. 275 projects. Submissions were due at 9 a.m. They worked on everything they could, and then they went to get their projects judged by those 18 judges. And from this, we have 10 finalist teams. We're going to bring these 10 teams on, and they're going to demo what they built and show all of you live, and then we're going to talk about all the prizes. So, for the first time ever, please join me in congratulating and welcoming our 10 finalists for ETHGlobal New York 2025. SwapPay, Pumpkin Spice Latte, Noah, Hardhat 3 Ledger, KaPay, 402 Flash, Primer, TX Delay Insurance, Rival, and Pika Vault. These 10 teams are going to come on. They're going to demo what they built, back-to-back 10 demos, and then we go into all the prizes. And this is a list of every project that was submitted this weekend. Usually I have to get out of the shots here, so I'm going to crouch a little bit so you can take a photo. 275 teams here. I just want to point out that just because you were not one of these 10 teams does not mean you were not good enough or something was wrong. Those 10 teams are what our judges thought were really cool projects that all of you should see. But all of you took the entire weekend to build something that you were excited about and things that you wanted to show off to the people you care about, and you should be proud of that. There's so many people who are going to win prizes from this list, and I'm just constantly amazed to see that so many things were built because somebody decided to just do that. And yeah, honestly, I just want to give all of you a big round of applause one more time. So congratulations to every single person who submitted a project and walked up to a judge to show them and got the feedback. We're going to go into our first set of demos, but 2 things for people, especially on the live stream. Everything here is public, so you can go on our showcase website on ethglobal.com/showcase and see the list of all 275 projects. And before we go into the very first demo, I want to take a quick second to ask everybody, all of you hackers, to scan this QR code and fill out the 5-question feedback form that we would like you to tell us about for your experience at this event. There's simple 1 to 10 rating questions, and then 1 question saying anything else you would like us to know. We do these events every few weeks, which means every few weeks 1,000 people or more come in, and we want to make sure that if we're doing anything that we can improve on, we get to apply that immediately, and in 2 weeks, have a much better experience for the next 1,000 people. And things that we should not be doing, well, we want to know that ASAP, and things we should continue doing, we also want to know that and improve basically the onboarding experience for everybody who attends these events, whether it's in person or online. I read all of these comments. I try to correct a lot of these things myself. Our team spends a whole week implementing these things, and we try this again every time. So please do this. We're also going to raffle off some of these hoodies for just New York for everybody who fills out this feedback. And this just saves us time and gives us the feedback to know where we should be spending most of our time. Enough talking from me. We're going to get ready with our very first demo. So please give a massive round of applause to our first finalist team, X42 Flash. Welcome on stage.
Can you hear me? Give me a big shout if you've had a very fun weekend. So, our project X402 Flash is an extension of Coinbase's X402 standard for micropayments. The way it works is by asynchronizing the communication between the client and the server. And the purpose of this is to annihilate the settlement latency for the standard. And I don't want to keep on boring you with all this theory, so I'll hand over to Kel. He'll show you some fun demos.
Hello guys, I'm Kel. And I'm going to show you guys a basic demo. So basically, I've set up a local server that is basically doing like a hello world on my computers. And I'm going to first call with the standard X402. Then I will try to call it with our X402 Flash. Okay, so before that, I want to meanwhile explain the whole technical architecture. So when user is calling the server with the normal X402, the server needs to wait for the transaction to be settled on the blockchain in order to send the request back. That's like a normal way. So first, we'll have to test that for now. So actually, we are right now using Base, and Base blockchain confirmation time is pretty unstable. So right now, it's 200 milliseconds. Now, I'll try to call it without X402 Flash. The way it works is first, when the client needs to call the server for the first time using X402 Flash, the client needs to allow the settlement contract which we built to allow it to do token transfer, and it will top up it to the escrow account in the settlement contract. Then after that, the client and the server can just do the request and respond directly without worrying about the blockchain confirmation time. And the throughput the client and server will get is proportional to the amount the client stake in the escrow account. Okay, so now let's try. Actually, I'll pull up our basic front end to show you guys. So right now, I've staked a huge amount of money to get this amount of throughput performance. Okay, so yeah. So right now it's only like 100 milliseconds. Okay, so that's like a huge difference between these two different data schema with the same X402 standards. And yeah, that's basically it. And if the client don't have enough money to pay for the server, then the server can just get the money from the escrow account. That's basically how it works. Okay.
So that demo was very impressive. It was like 20 times faster with our extension than the normal X402 standard, 20 times. I guess that's like the difference between the speed of a snail and Usain Bolt. So what we want to show you is the request flow and how all the data gets transferred. So Kel, do you want to show that?
Yeah, I basically said it, but yeah, it's basically we just use the escrow accounts to ensure that the server will always get paid no matter whether the client has enough funds or not. That's basically like the whole user flow. Yes.
Perfect. So we're gonna talk about the future implementations of this project. We are already in the process of writing a white paper, so you guys can all read it soon. We're gonna implement cross-chain probably with something like Circle developer tools, as we're already using their paymaster. And we're gonna try to possibly implement cool staking tech to implement a new business model. And before we finish, just wanted to tell you, we were actually 4 people, but 2 had to leave for the airport about 5 minutes ago. So can I have a big clap for Sean and Jonathan? Then just finally, wanted to show you the tech stack. So we used a lot of different CDP tools. We also used Paymaster, as I said. We also used, for our Web2, Express.js, Next, some usual tools. And this is us.
Follow us on Twitter. Thank you. Yeah.
Amazing. I love hacks that actually just extend an existing standard and just improve things. And this is a pretty amazing 20x improvement on 402 payments. So I hope that this becomes a real thing. And why would I want 200 millisecond latency? OK, on to our second demo. And for this one, let's bring on Hardhat 3 Ledger. Please give them a big round of applause.
Hey, everyone. I'm Eric.
And I'm Andrew.
And we're all from Waterloo, go Waterloo. And we're also Hardhat users. So we like building using Hardhat, deploy smart contracts. And most recently, Hardhat made an upgrade from Hardhat 2 to Hardhat 3, which added a lot of capabilities like Solidity testing and multi-chain support. But we're also big on security as well. So we want to be able to use physical wallets, and we don't want to be putting in our private keys in config files and everything. So unfortunately, when Hardhat migrated to Hardhat 3, they did not migrate some of the support with the integration to Ledger or other hardware wallets. So this is a gap that we saw and what we implemented at this hackathon.
Yes, so I will continue to do the demo of our project. To begin with, so what we're going to do is we are going to deploy just a very simple contract, the very default counter contract onto Hardhat network, but we are going to use Ledger to sign the transaction deployment transaction. As Eric said, the Hardhat 3 deprecated the library primarily because the Ledger team has made a lot of advancements in this field, and they deprecated the old Ledger library in favor of a new one. So we are integrating the new Ledger DMK, device management kit, into the Hardhat so that any developer can securely deploy their smart contracts. So this example is going to just deploy the counter contract, and afterwards it's going to send another transaction that's going to increment it by 5. I'm pretty sure the Hardhat is using VM for this. The previous version was using Ethers.js. I'm going to quickly unlock my Ledger because I don't want my password to be seen on stage, obviously. And I'm also want to open the video feed so that you can see the Ledger in real time. So first thing, we are going to start the Hardhat node. Great. Afterwards, I would like to fund my Ledger. So I'm going to fund my Ledger with this simple script that's going to send a transaction that basically funds for the gas fees, right? Afterwards, we can just run the Hardhat ignition script that will deploy the transaction, deploy the contract. Our contracts get compiled, and as you can see, we have this blind signing notice because we are signing a transaction blind. We continue, we sign a transaction fully. Right afterwards, we're getting another one. The second transaction is going to increment the counter We sign it as well on the ledger. Great. So the contract has been deployed, and we made a simple call to increment the number in the contract. That's pretty much it, our project. We will be, this basically is somewhat different of a regular hackathon project because it is more of an open source contribution rather than like an actual project. But yeah.
All right. Another simple, useful hack. And the best part of this thing is that they just solve the problem for themselves, which ends up helping everybody else who's trying to deploy contracts using Hardhat. So give them another round of applause. All right. We are ready for our third finalist demo. So let's give a massive shout out to Noah. That's the team, not his name.
Hey guys. This is Noah, or we are Noah. This is Alexandra. I am Julian. And really, we are trying to address one of the problems that has been probably the most speaked about with regard to consumer applications in crypto for years, which is the issues that come when either you lose access to your hardware or otherwise, bad things happen like death. Obviously, your beneficiaries have no access to your crypto unless you've given them somehow your keys or your secret word somewhere, which for many of you is likely impossible depending on how old or how young your family members are. And really solving this has only turned to MPC wallets in the past. And we're looking to provide a solution that not only provides an easy accessibility for the recovery of funds within crypto, but also rails to then take funds, off-ramp them, and provide really what would be traditional rails for the inheritance of cryptocurrency, but through bank accounts. As a quicker tech TLDR, really the core of it is we've built dead man switch technology combined with a variety of different liquidation methodologies to effectively, one, identify when a user has died by, if they have not sent a ping to our server for a certain amount of time, you just assume that they have passed or otherwise don't have access. And then in addition to that, providing, again, quite complicated methodology and utilizing a number of sources of pricing, et cetera, to ensure liquidations are performed effectively and funds are then sent to beneficiaries in an effective manner. So as a quick demo, the first thing you're really going to do is, obviously it's Noah, we set up your ARC. At that point, you can determine whether you'd like to, we do cover all ERC 721 functionality at this point, but for today, we were just doing ENSs, so easy enough to transfer your ENS. I own traversa.dev or .eth. I'd love my kids to have that. More applicable for most, just token addresses. So we set up a beneficiary. This is Vitalik. You could load whatever owned tokens you have, but today we're just using a mock token in our tests. First, you have to give the contract approvals, after which you have a few options. You can off-ramp directly to USDC or PYUSD. In these two cases, the beneficiary that you've put above will be the beneficiary that actually will receive the tokens at the end of the liquidation process. However, alternatively, if your relatives don't want to touch your wallets or have no idea how this works, what you want is the ability to off-ramp your crypto in the eventuality that these funds are liquidated. And to do that, we use Fern. So obviously we didn't do KYC over the weekend. That's a little bit out of scope, but we created a kind of mock process for KYC. You first create your customer ID. With that, you create a payment account. And from there, you can kind of store these until you actually need to make the withdrawal. From there, you get a quote, and putting all these three into Fern, they actually give you an address that you can send funds to, which will then transfer them into a bank account that you've already designated. So the customer's already set this funds up, and upon that, you can actually then automatically guarantee everything's liquidated to that bank account. And from there, our assumption is, or really just we would assume anyone would want, is access through traditional legal processes. The bank account's transferred to the beneficiaries in the same way that any bank account ever would be, and any user can always guarantee, regardless what happens to them or their private keys, their funds are safe. And obviously, again, this has been harped about for forever. Vitalik has written articles about it that go back 5-6 years even at this point. And it's just something I feel that really needed to be taken care of. So what we're going to do is just use this and let's say a Dutch auction, and we're going to build our ARC. Now we have a watcher going that's going to be watching the ARC be built. It should happen in a moment whenever the transaction goes through. And after that, you have the ability for, let's assume it goes through in 1 moment. Sepoy is having some troubles. There it is. So transaction goes through, we've mocked a bunch of tokens, sent them out, and in a moment you should see a method called flood called, which is what happens when the deadline has passed and we provide a small incentive, MEV incentive, for third parties to come in and activate this infrastructure. We take no fees and everything should be able to be automatically run and through a single singleton contract without any further intervention in the future. So again, in another moment here, there should be a flood method called, after which you'll see an auction begun and funds liquidated. I'm not going to make you guys wait for the whole process. Again, I actually forgot to set it correctly up here, but that's fine. Deadline passes and funds are liquidated. After that, you can go and take a look at your ARC through management. Obviously, you need to ping it, make sure nothing goes wrong, change things, update them, and also, most importantly, just take a quick look at them. In this case, again, we set up a Dutch auction for USDC. I set a too long duration, so that's not actually maturing for a few more days here. But that's fine, and realistically, I'm just happy to be able to get the guarantee that should I lose my wallet, which I have before, a month from now, these funds will be guaranteed to be sent to another beneficiary, either on-chain, I've decided, or to my bank account. And really, I think that's the core of it. We've used quite a few integrations in the process, and really, I think we're just looking forward to questions from anybody. So if there's any interest or questions, please come and reach out to us.
Thank you. Another super cool, useful utility, and the part that I like about this is that they ended up integrating with fiat, so you actually can just transfer directly to your bank account from stablecoins. All right, demo number 4. Please give a massive round of applause to Pumpkin Spice Latte.
Hello, everybody. I'm Peter. We are here to bring you some DeFi Spice, and these are my friends.
Hey, I'm Seth.
I'm Denny.
And I'm Gilad.
And this is Pumpkin Spice Latte. So what we're doing here today is building price-linked savings accounts as a DeFi primitive. Just show up with any ERC4626 compatible yield source, whether that be Morpho on Katana, whether that be Kinetic on Flare, or any other yield source, and also bring a source of randomness, which can be Chainlink VRF or anything else as long as it's secure. And from that, you can create a price-linked savings account. But what are those price-linked savings accounts? Why do we bother with Pumpkin Spice? We could have just gotten a iced Americano like a regular person. Well, there's a problem in DeFi. 3 to 5% is what you can really expect for blue chip collateralized assets on DeFi. This isn't really exciting if your friend is making 100x on some random meme coin in their mom's basement. But usually DeFi protocols try to solve this by upping the risk, whether that's sketchy collateral, more leverage, or any other Ponzi-like mechanism. A lot of these things cause a massive downside. Instead, we propose price-linked savings accounts that take 3 to 5% yields and make them exciting by harvesting part of that yield into a prize pot that can get awarded out like in a lottery. So this allows users to have some excitement on the upside without taking on additional credit risk. I'd like to hand it over to Gilad for a demo.
Hello. So this is Pumpkin Spice Latte. We're mobile first, so this is a mobile website. I've already deposited $1 and a penny into the Pumpkin Spice pool on Flare testnet, and there's already 401 USDC in this pool. Now, what I can do is deposit another $99. Let's do it. That's going to pop open MetaMask. I'm going to confirm, and then for the approval, and then for the execution, going to do another confirmation. Once that goes through, my balance is going to be updated, and that's going to trickle down into the a DeFi vault under the hood. And that's going to start accruing yield, which is going to be part of the lottery. So you can already see we got 500 USDC now in the pool. There's already been a fraction of a penny already in the yield. And of course, the principal you can see there. And so now it's time to try our luck. So we've built a mechanic in which the probability of a winning lottery ticket occurring increases incrementally over time. And so since it's been a minute, quite a minute since the last drawing, it's at 100%. So I'm going to press try my luck, confirm that transaction, and we're going to see that I'm going to be the winner. The probability has went back down to 0%. And if we're lucky, we're going to see the prize pool is back at 0, and we're going to see me as a lottery winner in the history here. And then once I'm done with the prize, pumpkin spice latte prize pool, of course I can withdraw my USDC. So I can just do 55 here, for example, confirm the withdrawal, and press confirm, and my balance will be decremented.
Yeah, in the future, we hope to modularize this further, and essentially you can think about it as a framework, and this framework can be applied to add incentives to your DeFi protocol. And so we envision this as sort of going on top, kind of like add some pumpkin spice just kind of on top of the protocol, and incentivize behaviors, but also sort of look to more consumer-focused DeFi experiences.
All right. Well, that's it. Thank you very much for your time today.
Thank you.
Awesome. Another simple, useful, and ready-to-go DeFi app. All right, on to our next finalist. Please give a massive round of applause to KaPay.
Hello, hello. Wow, this is loud. Cool. Awesome, sweet. Good afternoon. We're Team KaPay. My name is Derek. This is Vivian, Jason, and Dan. Today we're going to show you guys what we built, but I'm going to first talk about why we built it. So I don't think there's any question around how the future is one with many stablecoins. With US regulatory clarity now, more and more companies coming on-chain, and TradFi building stablecoins, the inevitable future of stablecoins is near. However, we believe that there's still fragmented liquidity and problems with stablecoins. If we look at pool, or curve, there are many USDC, USDT, DAI stablecoin pools, all fragmented into many, many chains and obviously pools. Uniswap is no different. As you can tell, there are many USDC and token pairs with other stables. And so today we present our implementation of Orbital, an AMM focused or specifically on stables designed and proposed by Paradigm. Our implementation basically takes the concept of a constant product Uniswap pool and brings it into higher dimensions so that this stablecoin or this liquidity pool, a single liquidity pool, can support 3, 4, hundreds, thousands of stablecoins all from a single pool. The advantage of this is incredibly low slippage, incredibly capital efficient swaps, and obviously, if you build the cross-chain components of it, this solves the unified or the fragmented liquidity problem. So this is obviously really cool, but what would be even cooler is if we applied this to real life. And so today we present KaPay. This is actually a Stripe alternative for merchants looking to accept stablecoin payments. The reason this is a Stripe alternative is because we can charge 10 times less than what Stripe does today, supporting more stables and more chains. This is a really brief architecture overview of how it looks. The merchant can specify the stablecoin that they want to accept. Any stablecoin will work, and the customer can pay with any stablecoin that they wish. KaPay will do this cross-chain swap under the hood for them, and they will leverage liquidity providers to offer the rock bottom fees that we can charge our customers, undercutting Stripe entirely. And let's do a demo now. Awesome. So let's assume that you are looking for an article, and the merchant has employed our product to accept stablecoins. As a merchant, they can specify what stables that they want to accept, and as a user, I don't need to worry about what stablecoin or what chain they're on. But for the purposes of this demo, we're going to display that information. So when I click on this article on the top left, I see that this is a paid article. And when I click this, we're actually going to use Coinbase's 402 protocol under the hood to make a payment required response. And so that triggers this what you see here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to log in using Coinbase embedded wallets. I'm going to type in my email. All right, I'm going to get my one-time passcode. Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to verify. Awesome. Okay, so we can see that my wallet already has a bunch of stables in it. And normally in production, we would just see that this article costs $1. We wouldn't specify the chain or the token, but for the purposes of this demo, we've made that very clear. So I'm going to pay for this with USDT. And when you're paying with tokens, or stables specifically, and you're doing these cross-chain swaps, you would expect some type of slippage. But for stablecoins, any type of slippage on a US dollar peg token just doesn't make sense. And this is why we employed Orbital under the hood. So by continuing, I can confirm this payment and execute this swap. There's this hash here I can type into Basescan. I'm going to let it actually complete first. Awesome. So what it did was it uses Coinbase's 402 protocol to verify and settle the payment. And then obviously when the payment is verified, it will return a 200 to the user, and we will expose the previously paid article now to the user. And if I put this on Basescan, we'll see that it actually executed the swap. Obviously, if I go to this contract, we'll see the orbital pool that we used and all the complex math there. But for the purposes of this demo, we don't have time for that. Yeah, that's pretty much it. If you're curious on how we implemented Orbital, all the math is here in terms of the ticks. And yeah, thank you very much.
Amazing. That was such a smooth demo, and they actually implemented and integrated the Orbital Exchange, the AMM, which is specifically designed for stablecoins. So more production use cases of things we want to use day to day. Okay, we are ready for our next demo, and for this one, I'd like to bring on Team Primer. Please give them a big round of applause.
All right. Hi, everyone. I'm Cynthia. I'm a rising sophomore at Stanford.
Hi, I'm Aaron. I'm a rising sophomore at UC Berkeley.
Hi, I'm Rishabh. I'm a rising junior at Cornell.
And this weekend, we built Primer. It's a checkout feature on Amazon that allows for seamless crypto payments. We chose Amazon specifically because we think there's a huge TAM. Everyone who uses crypto most likely has either heard of Amazon or uses it. There is significant overlap between the two. We had to reverse engineer some things because Amazon, every time we refresh, there's a new ID to log in every single time. So it was a technical challenge, but this is what we imagine the future of UX to look like. So really excited to talk about it.
Absolutely. So we think it's a huge game changer because now our Chrome extension basically allows you to buy pretty much anything on Amazon with stablecoin or other cryptocurrencies. And our project also came from a personal viewpoint because we kind of don't believe that the world can move into Web3, where the largest e-commerce platform still cannot accept digital assets or cryptocurrency as a form of payment. But yeah, let's dive right into the demo.
Cool. So I'm just going to start out with the regular Amazon page. And Aaron, what do you want to buy today?
I'll buy a hair tie because I need a haircut in the city.
All right, let's search for hair ties. There's a lot of them. I'm just going to add it to the cart. As a reminder, this is what the normal Amazon UX looks like. We haven't really implemented anything yet. I'm just going to proceed to checkout. As you can see, it's very normal. Use this payment method. And over here, you see place your order. We put Primer into a Chrome extension format using Chrome developable tools because we think this is the best way for easy installation and the best way to adapt to both mainstream and crypto users. So I can just load Unpacked, and I'm just loading Primer into here. As you can see, it's over here with my other extensions. I love these games, by the way. But when I refresh this page, You'll notice something interesting. We have a checkout with crypto button here, like directly injected into Amazon's page, and that's entirely on purpose. We wanted the design to be as seamless as possible, almost like Amazon implemented this feature themselves, because this is really how you're able to win more users onto your platform and how you have like great user retention. So I guess if I press checkout with crypto, the extension modal opens up, item breakdown, total, you can select a wallet. I'm just selecting Coinbase wallet right now. I press proceed to payment and a new modal opens up on a new tab. Again, it has items breakdown. It has my current wallet connected to it because I demoed it previously, but if I disconnect right now, you can see that the wallet sender address is not connected because my user, I'm like the customer, I haven't connected my wallet. However, there's an Amazon receiver address. This is just an arbitrary merchant wallet that we are using, Amazon listing price, etc. So I'm just going to connect to my wallet right now. Very simple flow, very pretty. And then the button has changed to like what I need to pay. I click again. It gives me the asset changes. I press continue or confirm. It processes for a little bit. And then it goes to this page, which is a very simple congratulations page.
Right, so as you can see here, if we go into the base scanner, you can see that the transaction was actually happening over the base mainnet with actual USDC money. This is Cynthia's address, and this is our merchant wallet address where all the transaction will flow in. You can see here the gas fee is pretty negligible. It will happen around like, what, 2 seconds? So pretty fast in my opinion. And this is just a little sneak peek behind the scene. And all the UI were also designed by us because we think web UI and UI UX is a really critical part of Web3, and we want to try to onboard Web2 users like my mom who uses Amazon regularly.
Yeah, so if I press go back to Amazon, I'm just gonna also show you what payment looks like. We do it with a very innovative bridge because we decided to use like automated gift cards. We don't have access to like Amazon's incentives API and all that because that's out of scope for like 36 hours. So our workaround is actually using gift cards. And if I load the payment method, you see here, right now we have no available balance in our gift card. I guess if I press checkout crypto again, and then complete checkout, it puts the gift card code automatically in here, presses apply. And then now I can just use this new payment method. As you can see, we didn't use any credit cards. There's no like balances being taken from like anything too centralized. It's just a gift card already applied to your account. So if I press like place order here, it actually works on Amazon. Order place thanks. I'm going to turn this off to avoid notifications happening when we're testing. But when we go back to the normal Amazon Web 2 user flow, it still shows up. And what's really interesting is that the total is $0.00. This is because we didn't use any of our credit cards to make the purchase arbitrarily. It truly was that gift card code that we were able to generate, apply automatically. And this is like basically how our demo works. In terms of like actually automating it, we had to like pull the elements from the Amazon page every single time and figure out a way to standardize it because again, we had to refresh and the ID changes, but this is just what we imagined for this project.
Yeah, in the backend, we're using CDP data API to allow for payments when the merchant address receives some transaction, then we would initiate a gift card purchase for that payment. Thank you.
Amazing. A true definition of a hack and a live demo. This is awesome. All right, 4 more demos to go. Let's welcome Transaction Delay Insurance.
Hi, I'm Jordan. It must be my lucky shirt that I score on home terrain. So, transaction delay insurance. Transactions can be delayed on any blockchain. Doesn't matter how fast the blockchain is. There's always a load that can break it, delay it. And blockchains like Zirkit even quarantine transactions that may be suspicious. But it's a scary thing, so I provide insurance against it. And this is really an alternative against alternative to EIP 1559, where you pay extra to get your transactions to execute faster. So in this, if I have an insurance, I can have multiple policies that insure different kinds of delays, different kinds of amounts of money. And How this works is a simple RPC proxy. I send the transactions to my RPC proxy. It's fully transparent, sends all the transactions to the blockchain RPC and back, except for two calls. One call is when the transaction is broadcast. I attach the current block number to it and I sign it. And then on the way back, when it gets confirmed, it also gets signed. So those two signatures can be ECDSA recovered in a smart contract to prove that a payout should be made to the claimer. So what it does, I already explained, but the insurance contracts take care of policy, factory, policy creation, purchasing, and claims. And the economics is tremendous. And why is it tremendous? Because if you try to buy a car insurance, one insurer will quote you $2,000 and the other one will quote you $600, and you don't know why the difference, but the prices are so soft that you can make a lot and nobody complains about it. I even have a user interface which I can show now. Thanks to AI vibe coding, I managed to even get a UI. So that's one. It's really not instrumental because everything can be done programmatically, but here are some policies, and an administrator can create a policy. I will name it, comment something. I'm gonna make 20 blocks delay, pay out something. I create the policy, and it will create a policy. And then anyone can purchase a policy. And these are my policies. This is my new policy, but I'll go into this standard policy that I know about. And I can purchase insurance myself from this policy. I can purchase policy, actually. And this is my policy. Okay. I have insurance. And it'll take a short time, but yeah, it's here. So then I can send a sample transaction, and hopefully I luck out that it's delayed. Don't hope too much. It's unlikely. That's why insurers make a lot of money, but let's try. Oopsie. Let me see. Yes. That was a race condition that I have to fix. So this is my transaction. All I have to do is remember the TX ID so I can claim the delay. Here, transaction was submitted, intercepted by the proxy, and let me claim. Let me claim. Sorry about this race condition, but please select, I select a policy, of course. I select a policy. Here's my transaction, and yeah, of course. It's Zerk's proof they're too fast. It's Zerk's fault they're too fast. Anyway, I can't fake this because I have to try many and many times. But I do have all the tests that pass, and I can show all possible conditions that I handled by delays, non-delays, policy, not enough money, et cetera, et cetera. So that's it. We can.
Awesome. Thanks, Jordan. Didn't imagine buying gas futures for transactions. Nice. 3 more demos to go. Let's give a big round of applause to SwapPay.
Hello, everyone. We are Christian, Santiago, Javi, and Julio. And we are from Colombia, and we built SwapPay. So, let me go to. Okay. So, what's going on there? Okay, appreciate. So, SwapPay. Pay with any token, mix seamlessly. We've been in the situation that we want to buy an asset in Web3. And we have the funds, but we have it spread it into different assets. And we don't have that amount in the exact asset that the merchant is asking us to pay. So we find ourselves paying, swapping different tokens, clicking for approvals, and having transactions fails. And this shouldn't be like that. We could do that with a simple interface. And this is why we built SwapPay. Just let me go here. We built an SDK that allows checkouts in Web3 effortless. We give the opportunity to developers to receive the token they want to receive, allow the user to pay with the multiple tokens that they have, and do that in just one transaction. So let me show you how it goes. This is our interface. The NFT is just an use case. So we connect the wallet. Then it shows us all the assets that we have and the amount that we have, and it uses Chainlink data feeds to show the real the price in real time. And we start choosing the different assets that we want to use to buy this NFT, this $52,000 NFT, with the different assets that we have in our wallet until we complete the total allocation. So we go and purchase. The MetaMask shows us that we are going to do these approvals or all these tokens, and that we are going to send those tokens, and that we are going to receive an asset. And we confirm. We just wait for the blockchain to go, and it is done. We made one single transaction that we made 5 swaps and acquired a single NFT. We, under the hood, we use the EIP 5792 to batch transactions and the transactions, the approvals, and everything that goes to do that transaction. And we can see here in the Etherscan that we have all those different movements that we just made with this single click. We also bought PayPal USD, leave it there. We used the PayPal USD to buy the NFT, and we gave it a small leverage of 1%, so to allow the transaction to go through, and the remnant that is going to keep after the transaction is going to stay on the wallet of the user. So this is just one single use case that we can have with SwapPay. There are different options that we might look into the future. Now we are going to add the NFT to the wallet. And with that, we are going to complete the whole process. The project is live on Sepolia. And that's all. Thank you so much.
Amazing. It's live. All right, 2 more demos to go. So without further ado, let's bring on our second last finalist team, Rivals.
Yo, what's up, ETHGlobal? We are the Rivals team. I'm Zach. This is Chris. This is Sydney. And Rivals is an augmented reality, real-time FPS shooter. and we're just going to dive in and give you a quick demo.
So this is how you spawn in. The mines are set, the mobs are hungry. Beyond the screen, every tap is a countdown. Enter if you dare, losers leave lighter. So you spawn in and you've got a bunch of zombies in front of you. If you tap the screen and look at them, you can shoot them. Yeah, each bullet does 1 damage. The zombies have about 10 damage each, and yeah, they've got a. The AR is tracking the floor here. If you can see towards the bottom of the screen, there's like some dots. So this maps out the floor, the walls, the whole environment. And yeah, as you can see, it's kind of dangerous. But yeah, the zombies have a pathfinding. So they'll follow over all the surfaces. And as you can see here, these are traps. So this is the second half of the whole game. The idea is you fight the zombies and you get rival tokens. And you can see those at the top of the screen. Oh, it looks like we're on the local test net instead of the flow test net. But if we were on, yeah, flow test net, yeah, we can see 3 rival up there at the top. And placing each one of these mines is going to consume 1 of those. And if we were doing a multiplayer demo, I could come in from the other end of the stage. It's kind of hard because it's like based on GPS coordinates. So it wouldn't really work very well indoors potentially, but that's something that we would love to explore, doing better, like using Wi-Fi hotspots to better triangulate your positions. But yeah, so the tokenomics of it is kind of interesting. So you kill the zombies to kind of bootstrap your rival tokens, and then you place the traps using tokens as well. And so rather than you losing your tokens to the zombies, you lose them to other players that are playing. Yeah, I mean, is there anything else on like the demo? We can show, so these should be running live on Flow. As you can see, 55 seconds ago. And then this is our contract, live and verified on Flow testnet. It's just kind of basic things that we're doing here. So if you die by a trap or you die by a monster, there's kind of slightly different behavior here on where the tokens get transferred to. And then if you kill the monster, that's kind of the main way that tokens get minted. And if you spend it on a mine, it burns the token. So very simple. This part's all on chain, the token aspect, and it's updating in real time. There's no transaction. There's no like transaction confirmation or anything. Take it over.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, just to speak to this a little bit more, yeah, our server endpoint just manages a private key, so the user does not have to worry about gas or anything like that. We've implemented these custom mint functions where when any in-game actions happen, there's a call to the game server, which then manages the token balance mapping for the user. So you can actually see these calls coming in real time as we were doing that. And then if we were to actually go over to the database here, you can actually see here is all of the mines that we placed. So with the app, again, it's not just fighting monsters, but the whole point is you're kind of in this apocalyptic world where it's kind of this real-time competitive game against everybody in the world. You can kind of imagine it like you're walking down the street, you get a notification on your phone, you just stepped on a mine. You have 5 seconds to get out of the blast radius or you're gonna die. And so if another player eliminates you, just to reiterate, they get to take 20% of your stake And then we also have a burn mechanism so that if you are killed by a monster, we actually burn 20% of what's in your wallet in the game. And then it's a full Unity app, fully cross-platform. And I just want to shout out for any Web3 game developers out there, please check out Mixamo. It's a product by Adobe. It's really great for quickly rigging models and getting demos like this set up. We pulled a lot of late nights doing this, but this like immensely helped us. So big shout out to Mixamo. And thank you.
Awesome. Oh, such a fun real-time game demo. Okay, we are ready for our 10th and last demo for the finalists. So let's give a massive welcome to Pika Vault.
Hello, everyone. I'm Adair. And this is Al, and we are Pika Vault. So Pika Vault is a multi-chain vault that allows for both depositing, withdrawing, and holding of assets across multiple different chains. So as more institutions come and enter crypto, there actually becomes a problem. We're going to have more and more application-specific chains like Ondo Finance or Plume for RWAs, and more institutions who want to put together assets that exist on these chains. So here we have BlackRock Biddle, we have Ondo's S&P 500 fund, and Plume Gold and Coinbase BTC to form Pika. But if you try to do this right now using existing DeFi primitives, users are stuck with using multiple wallets, bridges, and gas across different chains. Institutions currently lack the ability to custody these assets using their qualified custodians, because a lot of these assets, when they're implemented, they become wrapped and are therefore synthetic, non-native assets. And for protocols, this means that the liquidity is really fragmented across chains, leading to poor UX, and there's opaque risk from those synthetic asset providers. So what Pika does is it gives you one vault that is able to issue and redeem shares across multiple vaults on different chains. So the Hub Vault handles shares. The Spoke Vaults handles deposits, redeems. Anyone can deposit USDC on one of these spokes and have the Hub actually manage those share process requests. So the depositing of USDC is done via CCTP. The allocation of the funds is processed using layer 0. And then any positions that are made are also activated using layer 0 messaging. The reason that we use CCTP in addition to layer 0 is because when we're trying to access assets like Coinbase XRP or like these different assets on other chains, they need native USDC. They can't operate with these synthetic versions of USDC, and when you're placing multi-million-dollar transactions, you can't deal with any slippage. Am I missing anything? All good. Okay. The integrations we used were layer 0. We improved upon their existing OmniVault standard, which only allowed for purchasing and redeeming shares on multiple chains. We allow for holding positions across multiple chains. We use Circle CTTP, Coinbase for the embedded wallets and better experience, and then Chainlink, of course, for net asset value calculation and NAV pushing. So let's do a demo. Actually, you did.
So we have two parts demo. One is front end. What was the, yeah. You log in with your email, Coinbase managed wallet. You don't need anything. You just enter your email and then you will receive a code, and that's really it to start using the platform. Your wallet is already generated here, and we just built a demo vault for you to see. Here you can see from any share. This is kind of weird because like I always expect the MetaMask or something else to pop up, but No, it's just feels like a very polished user interface, web user interface. It's just done. And yeah, I deposited Vault and actually received my shares. So that was it for the deposit. For the redeem flow, it's a little bit involved. There is something missing on the front end, but I will show you. I will show you here flow. So you can deposit from base. Let's say this is all happening on chain. Now I am depositing $1 to the hub on base Sepolia. And I am going to send this cross-chain. Yes. From base, I'm sending those shares to Sepolia. From base Sepolia to Ethereum Sepolia, sorry. Now I have probably do have those shares, or I don't know, maybe I don't, but let's see. Right now I am doing a request redeem from Sepolia, from Ethereum Sepolia to base Sepolia. So this transaction takes a little bit long, like one or two. Oh, okay, nice. So now I have some claimable redeem and pending redeem. So if I do just a second. Yeah, I need to send this claim redeem. And then this would result on multiple transactions, but we can see probably layer 0 transaction, hopefully. Okay, I need to, sorry, I missed a point. So the whole point of asynchronous redemptions is like someone has to approve those shares, like redemptions. So I have to approve those redemption requests as a manager. After that, they will be available, actually. Yeah, mark claimable. So I am as an admin, that there is not much claimable funds, but since this is a cross-chain transaction, I mean, there is an example on top of the here. So basically after manager approves those claimable pending requests, then the user can finalize their redemption requests cross-chain, and they can choose where to receive their funds, like their USDC. They can choose to have it on base Sepolia or like Ethereum Sepolia or any other chain. And it just works all through the hub chain. Doesn't matter which chain you are, you can both send and receive to any chain that is the hub connected to. Okay.
So last thing I'll leave you with is that the presentation had a diagram of exactly like the flow that he just described. And so just to clarify exactly what happened, we deposited, it sent a message to the async composer on the hub. It sent a CCTP message, a layer 0 message to the spoke. And then when you go to asynchronously redeem, the actual vault manager, as he mentioned, who's going to be the fund manager, is going to actually request or process those requests on the spokes. And then all of the messages are going to be executed asynchronously through layer 0, fully autonomously on chain. So thank you very much. And this is Pika Vault.
Thank you.
Amazing. Those were our 10 finalists. So please join me in thanking all of these 10 teams again. So massive round of applause to SwapPay, Noah, KaPay, Primer, Rivals, Pika Vault, TX Delay Insurance, X42 Flash, Hardhat, 3 Ledger, and Pumpkin Spice Latte. Wow. The part that excites me the most is that all these things were live, and you can just also play with them while they were doing these demos. And that's actually the biggest trend for the 275 submissions. More than 40% of them were deployed. And I want to see more of that. And this is absolutely incredible. Okay. How's the energy in the room? Oh, this is great. Wow, I am actually surprised. Well, now you have to perform. Okay, we're going to get to all the prizes, but the thing I want to talk about is being on-chain. We want to do more things on-chain, not just as ETHGlobal, but also as a community to show that all the things that we're building here for fun or for profit are actually useful and ready to go. And a big part of that, what we're doing is the packs. Everybody who hacked has a hacker pack that gives you access to the faucet and a bunch of other things. But after today, you'll actually be able to mint a bunch of other packs that come with more perks based on how many events you participated in or the prizes you're going to win today. So you get to do anything from getting access to upcoming other events by our partners to higher limits on faucets, things like discounts on security audits, and a bunch of other things from all this. And a part of that bundle is also ETHGlobal Plus, which is a way to access everything that's happening in the ETHGlobal ecosystem all across the world. And you have things like, obviously, Pragma events. We do eSIM roaming for people going on. We have hotel discounts, hundreds of side events you can go to, the city packs people bought, startup credits that give you access to thousands of dollars of credits to simplify your work. And the thing that I'm super happy about is that just last month, we ended up launching and offering access to Priority Pass through ETHGlobal Plus. So all of that is now happening on chain. You get to mint this as ETHGlobal Plus member, and you get annual membership to Priority Pass free, and you can access an airport lounge. And this is all happening directly, and some of you will be able to use this basically in the next minute on your way back if you're flying back today. So check that out. All that is on ETHGlobal Plus, ethglobal.com/plus. And let's go to prizes. Who here sitting in these front few rows, like all the rows, has hacked at an in-person hackathon before? Okay, that's like 50%. What about in the last 12 months in person? All right, that's like 20%. Great. So most of you then don't know what game I'm about to play. And we're going to have some fun with this. So we have 100 slides of prizes to go through. And the way we're going to do this is I'm going to talk about which team is going to win a prize for which company. And if you're sitting in the audience and you're that team, I want that team to shout. And the loudest team across all slides will win a ledger. Ledger Flex. That's the one you saw in the first demo, the good one. But every member on that team is going to win. And if you were a team that ends up winning 2 prizes, and you were top of the chart before, but you shout again, you got overtaken by somebody else, and you shout again, you get dethroned. So you're going to have to keep up, and there's a penalty for being too good. So are we ready? You failed the first test. All right. Are we ready? There we go. We're going to give away $275,000 in prizes, and we're going to start off with Coinbase Developer Platform. All right. I'm going to say this word. I'm going to just be very careful here. Only when you hear your name, you shout. If you see 3 names and you're one of them, I have no idea who's winning. So only after I say your name, that's when you shout. Instructions unclear. Coinbase Developer Platform. Primer is the best on-chain app for CDP. What? 2 directions? What's going on? Okay. Well, I'll just say the 4 names and let's see who's loudest. Well, it's clearly Primer is winning by being the default. PDFI is the second team, winning $5,000. X42 Flash is the third team, and Launchbase is the fourth one, winning $5,000. Congratulations to all 4 of these teams. And X42 Flash is the loudest team in the room. On to Flow. Dreamprint is the best killer app on Flow. You take home $3,500. LoveFi is the second best app for $1,500. And Rivals comes in third for $1,000. Rivals is rivaling X402, and you are the loudest team in the room. For the best use of actions and agents, Flare Flow is the best project. You take home $2,000. Bounty Blocks takes home $1,000. And Toll Booth is the third place, winning $1,000 as well. Congratulations. Wait, which one was that? Toll Booth? All right, you got to say as soon as you hear a name. Not loud enough. And 66 teams are winning the pool prize. So shout if you're... No, I'm kidding. Nobody wins on this one. But you take home $150.52. All right. On to Layer 0. OmniPlanet is the best omni-chain app. Not loud enough. But you take home $6,500. Pika Vault is the second place $4,500 recipient, and Whisper comes in third for $1,500. There's a joke to be made here. Whisper, come on. Clearly they're winning. Okay, so right now, Rivals is the loudest team in the room. What's going on? Pika Vault is the best DeFi primitive category winner, too, for $4,500. And now the loudest team in the room. And Volatility Hook comes in second for $3,000. Congratulations. On to Artificial Superintelligence Alliance. Ethereum is the best use of ASI, the loudest team in the room. You win $5,000. Mint Condition is the second team, winning $3,000. And Waterfall comes in third for $2,000. Waterfall, you are now in the lead. Amazing. On to Chainlink. SwapPay is the best use of Chainlink, and apparently a team with 20 people. What's going on? OpenGrid is the second place winner. And VoiceStock comes in third for $2,000. So all 3 of you win $2,000. And SwapPay is the loudest team in the room. Okay. AnyPay is the best use of CCIP. I want to see hands. Who is AnyPay? 1, 2, 3. I saw 2 from there too. What's going on? Next one. No. Okay, we're going to restart this. For the best use of CCIP, AnyPay is the $2,000 winner, and DeFi Guardian is the second team. You know what? This is actually a tie. All right, I don't know how we're going to do this, Jacob, but both of these teams are equally loud. This is the first. Interesting. Next up is Chili's. True Friends is the best sports app. You take home $3,000, and Mural Clash is the second place $2,000 winner. Congratulations. SendBet is the best DeFi app on Chili's. You take home $3,000, and Chess Clash is the second place $2,000 winner. Circle. QWeb is the best multi-chain USDC app. You take home $2,500, and Crossmeter comes in second for $1,500. And Fluvia is the best multi-chain USDC wallet, and you'll be taking home $2,000. VoiceDog is the best pay for gas using USDC. You take home $2,000, and Paywiser is the best gasless experience, and you'll also be receiving $2,000. That was the loudest team in the room. Paywiser is leading the charts. Next up, Dynamic. Crossmeter is the best financial app on Dynamic. You will take home $3,333. And Dreamprint is the best consumer app on Dynamic, and you'll be also receiving $3,333. And the 42 is the best AI app, and you'll also be receiving $3,333. Congratulations. On to ENS. Ease is the best use of ENS. You take home $3,000. Bribe Hacks takes up $2,000 and missed the opportunity to bribe people to split the ledger. And the loudest team in the room, and Code Quill. Startup chain. Wow. Okay, this is close. And real world access. You take home $1,000, and I'm gonna have to say startup chain was the loudest out of the three. That's amazing. Amazing. Oh my. This is the first time I've seen people not be this tired. This is great. This is great. And Vitalik wins the best use of L2 primary names for $2,000. I'm sure there's a joke in there somewhere. On to Flare. Pumpkin Spice Latte is the loudest team in the room and taking home $5,000. Upcent is the second place $2,000 winner, and Cleos comes in third for $1,000. Okay, Pumpkin Spice Latte is still the loudest team. Domus is the best use of external data storage from Flare, and Enshrined Finance is the second team, also winning $1,000. On to Hedera. Opto is the best winner category, well, best winner for Hedera integration, and Park Pulse is the second team, and both of you will be taking home $1,500. And Opto is the best use of Hedera EVM. So close, so close. And Fitsensitive comes in second for $1,500. This is being recorded, dude. The best AI hack on Hedera goes to Park Pulse. You take home $2,000, and Human OS is the second team, winning $1,500. On to Hyperlane. HyperPay is the best use of Hyperlane and the loudest team in the room. And Paywiser comes in second, and also the loudest team in the room now. And both of you will be taking home $2,000. HyperPay wins the best infrastructure category too. There we go. Not loud enough. Almost. And a Sovereign's Duty is the second team for the best infrastructure category, and you'll be also receiving $2,000 each. And SendBet is the best interchain application, and you'll be taking home $2,000. Nice. On to Katana. Katabot is the best used for dev tooling, and Katabot is the loudest team in the room. And Sport AI is the sharpest yield category, and apparently colluding with the Katabot team. I need to see hands. Who's the bot? And okay, hands down. Who's Sport AI? What? 0 hands? Well, Katabot is still the loudest team in the room, and you take home $2,000. On to NylonFi. For the best shuriken cross-chain category, you take home $2,000, and Zappers is the Open Dojo category winner for $2,000 as well. You lost the energy, dude. They're still the lead. But you take home another $2,000. Congratulations. On to Ledger. See, now this could be you can stack on ledgers here. Hardhat 3 Ledger is the best hardware integration for Ledger, and they already have a Ledger in their hand, so they're like checked out. And Ledger Vision is the second place $2,000 winner, so congratulations to both of these teams. And Upcent is the wildcard category winner, and you will be receiving $1,000. Then we have Nora. OAuth Clock. That was loud. Was that OAuth Clock? OAuth Lock. Is that? What? How do I know who's shouting? I only shout when you hear your name. It's hard for me to keep track of this. Okay, Oath Lock, Clanker Catcher. That's loud. Okay, CrowdStake. Fairhold. Okay, I think that one's obvious. Flow, X402, Cheerbot. All of you take home $1,000, and Fairhold is the loudest team in the room. On to OpenSea. Wallet Unwrapped is the best AI experience on OpenSea. You'll be receiving 6,000. Mint Condition comes in second for 3,000. And Artera is the third place $1,000 recipient. Then we have PayPal USD. SwapPay is the best use of Pi USD. So close. They're still the loudest. And ETHJobs.cc. I've never seen the live stream video after, but this happens every time, and I'm just kind of curious what the comments are going to say. ETHJobs.cc, you take them $3,500, but that team in the back is still the loudest team in the room. Then we have EchoBox for the best consumer app, and you'll take home $2,000. Congratulations. Okay, we're getting to the end. So we have the Graph. Rezona is the best use of Graph for $3,000, and Mural Clash is the second place $2,000 winner. The best application built on Hypergraph goes to Wallet Unwrapped for $2,500, and Secret Pineapple is the second place $1,500 recipient. And then we have the best use of GRC20 library, and Compose wins $1,000. Then we have the Uniswap Foundation prizes. JIT Saving Vault is the best V4 hook category winner. You'll be taking home $5,000. OP Swap on Unichain comes in second for $3,000, and Stater is the loudest team in the room with $2,000. Amazing. On to Walrus. Lore, HumanOS, Meteor, and Cold Cash are the four winners getting $2,000, and Lore is the loudest team in the room. And Git LFS Walrus is the best developer tool for Walrus, and you'll be taking home $2,000. Then we have Zirkit. Zuchi is the best project on Zirkit. You'll be taking home $3,000. Real World Access is the second place $2,500 winner. And Oathlock is the best idea on Zirkit. Viveflow comes in second. And Rel AI is the third team winning $1,500, and Viveflow is the loudest team in the room. Well done. On to Fern. PDFI is the best finance app on Fern. You'll be taking home $1,750, and Onchain is the best consumer app on Fern. You'll be receiving $1,700. And then the 42 is the best AI app on Fern, and you'll be receiving $1,550. Congratulations. Then we have Hardhat, Fluvia, Hardhat 3 Ledger, and Zuchi are the three teams, and you'll be splitting $5,000 equally. Then we have Lit, and Bridge Wager Association is the best Vincent app for $3,000, and Open Credentials is the honorable mention, and you'll be taking home $500. Then we have Privy. ChainSpeed is the best consumer app on Privy. You take home $1,700, and Secret Pineapple comes in second for $1,650. And CoSurf is the best AI app built on Privy, and you'll be taking home $1,600 and $1,650. Then we have Saga. Omni Agent is the best app on the Saga Chainlet. You'll be taking home $2,500. And Lens.dev is the $1,500 second place winner, and Paywiser is the $1,000 winner. Last prize, last team, loudest in the room. That was everybody. Congratulations to all of you who won all this amount. Your prizes will show up on the showcase. And on top of all the prizes from our partners, the finalists also win the Finalist pack. And that means they'll get, in addition to all that, another $1,000 from the ETHGlobal team per member, a full year access to ETHGlobal Plus, $500 flight credits to go to the next hackathon that we're hosting, an on-chain proof for being a finalist, special invitations to a lot of events we do with founders to get advice from how to grow your projects to more, and over $50,000 in credits to take your projects to the next level, including things like AWS and discounts for security audits. On top of that, they'll also be getting this hoodie that only the finalists get, and an actual ledger too. So they didn't actually have to shout, but it would have been fun that way. So the $500 reimbursement can be used for the upcoming two events we have, which is in New Delhi next month and Argentina with Dev Connect. So hopefully we'll see some of these finalists there. And I want to congratulate everybody for winning incredible amounts of prizes and doing so many hundreds of projects. Give yourselves a massive round of applause. All this is on the showcase. The little energy that you have left, I'm going to ask you to reserve that for one more minute. And the thing I want to talk about is basically everything we said about the prizes, that's not final. So it's like 80% the chase, but we're going to check a bunch of things before we give them out to you. And that means we have to walk through everybody's source code. We have to make sure that nobody cheated. We have to make sure that if you used AI, you actually properly integrated things and functions are being called. And we'll be doing that over the next 3 weeks. So the amounts may change. Some people may get disqualified. We may have to ask you for more proof. And our deadline and timelines to do all of that is the next 3 weeks, and the prizes will be distributed on September 12th. So prizes, as well as your stakes, will be returned on the same timeline. And the week before September 12th is when you get an email with all the confirmations for this is the final amount of the prizes and the categories and the totals, and this is where it's going to be sent. And that's where you'll be able to see and receive all the amounts. Now, this is a part I'm excited about. This is something we've been working on for a couple of years now. And you know us for doing one thing really well, but we also want to do other things and get really good at that. As much as I'm excited about this, I'm kind of a little bit sad because I would have to contradict a bunch of things that I have to say all the time at ETHGlobal. So without stalling, we're going to be doing a massive conference next year as ETHGlobal, and it's going to be one of the biggest events we've ever done. We're going to try for more than 5,000 people here. And it's going to be all about what's actually happening in Ethereum and who's building with the protocol, how do we actually improve things, and how do we actually get everything back to where we would like it to be as stewards of this ecosystem, but also how we get the rest of the world to also care about what we're excited about. ETHConf is going to happen next June in New York City. And I can't wait to say that this is going to be a conference. Everything is live. We're going to publish the dates by the end of the month on the website directly, ethconf.com, the biggest event for Ethereum in the US next June. So the last bit of energy that you have left, I'm going to ask you to go all in and thank everybody that helped make this event possible. So we're going to just keep on clapping, and the faster you clap, the faster we'll go through the slides. So on 3, let's make sure we thank everybody who was part of this whole weekend over the last few months to the last hour. And I want to start off with all of you hackers. Give yourselves a massive round of applause. All of our judges, all of our mentors, all of our volunteers, all of our speakers, all of our partners, all of the venue staff, everybody we work with, from photographers to videographers to caterers to anybody involved. To the rest of the ETHGlobal team, a massive shout out to George, Alex, Karen, Aubrey, Val, Pascal, Richa, Sophia, Calvin, Maggie, Nuno, Anna, Emily, Jacob, Andrew, and Liam. And this is everything that we wanted you to be part of. Thank you so much for being here. And last but not least, the upcoming hackathons we're doing. Open Agents AI-focused hackathon in 2 weeks. New Delhi next month. ETH Online all of October. Buenos Aires, the last event of the year. And now ETHConf in 2026. Thank you so much for coming. All of this is on our website. And let's celebrate outside. Thank you so much.